We did set up the all the stuff that we need to install a WordPress installation. The actual thing what we're going to do right now is download the WordPress software itself in order to install it. So I just went on to Google, or you just can go to wordpress.org, and then you can download the software over there. So you need to download the WordPress software. You can find it on Google. I just typed in wordpress.org/download/. So I'm going to download it. Then you're going to download the zip file. You need to extract it, and then you can just get it installed with your FTP client, which we're going to actually upload the files and do the installation later. Okay, here we go. Well, I just went ahead and did some work already before we start on the next part. So I went into Google again and I tried to look for a software called FileZilla. You can see that on top right here, and there's a free version that you can just use, and that's actually an FTP client, so we can just use that for uploading all the files into a WordPress directory. The thing is that we've noted down all the information that we just had in the cPanel installation. So I'm also having an FTP user over there. So I'm going to create a new site, and that's basically, I'm going to click over here. Then I'm already having the site created now. So I'm going to connect to Bluepine, my host, and that's something that's in the email that you got from your web hosting company normally, which host you can connect to temporarily. So I'm going to use the IP address that I got from my web hosting company. Then I'm going to just use this plain standard settings. I'm going to use inlog type. I'm going to do normal. Then my user is that FTP user that I just created in the cPanel interface. So this is my test user. And the password that I have, and I'll try to redo it now. Okay. So that was the actual password that we already created in cPanel. Just going to click OK. Then I'm going to push the arrow over here. I'm going to use Bluepine. So you can see down here, and I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger, the public HTML. We're just going to go in there because this is your actual installation on the server of the web hosting company. This is your web hosting account. So public HTML, we go into that. There's nothing in there right now except for one file. That's a standard file. We don't need that one. The other thing is that we've just downloaded the software from WordPress as well. You've extracted it, so it's not a zip anymore. It's a WordPress folder with all the files in it. So I'm just going to select all the files and just going to drag and drop them over in the interface. So by doing that, I basically get the standard WordPress files in my web hosting folder. So I'm just going to wait on that because there's a long way to go. Great, so all the files are now copied. Now we can go back into the web interface and be warned that the email that you got from your web hosting company with all the details in, there is a temporary web address as well in it. We're probably going to use that one in order to see the actual installation files. So we now have the files copied into the correct folder with the database created. We have the email address there. So I'm going to use the details that I got from my web hosting company. That's basically my IP address, then the Bluepine. So this is the actual URL that you're normally going to use. If you fill this one in, so get rid of this, you're going to use this. It's going to automatically to the WordPress installation page. Now you're going to choose your own language over here, of course. I will do it in English. I'm going to continue. Okay, so here it is. We're going to start with the installation of WordPress. So we're going to need the database name, the username, the password, the database host, and the prefix of the tables in the SQL database. Nothing to worry about right now. we're going to click the Let's Go button and see what it does. Okay, so here's the database name. So this is something interesting because we noted that down as well because we created the database. So the database was actually not WordPress. We noted it down as bluepine underscore WordPress. The username for it was bluepine underscore WordPress. Then the password, and I've copied it from the cPanel interface. So the password is, and that's a strange thing because what you will see is that it's getting in plain text. Don't worry about that. We're going to use some other passwords later on. Then we're gonna have the database host, which you can just leave as localhost, and we have the table prefix, and you can change that, but as long as you're not an expert who knows how to do anything with the SQL database, I'm just advising you we'll keep it on WP. That's it. We're gonna click submit, then run the install. So so far so good. We're now going to put in a site title. So we're going to put in bluepine.nl. That's my title of my site. I'm going to have a username, and the username is called Grim. And then I need a password for Grim as well. So username Grim, and the password is this one. I'm just noting everything down as well so I can just get into the system later on. My email address, and that's where it comes in, is info@bluepine.nl. Then discourage, yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, because I don't want the search engines that are already indexed this site because there's nothing on it. Install WordPress. Here we go. And there's a login button down there. So if we can click on that, we can see that we can go into the Bluepine WordPress administration site. You can recognize that because there's a WordPress sign on top of it. And we're going to use Grim and the password that I just copied as well. Let me get it again. So, and I'm going to put down login. See what happens. So this is what actually happened because I'm now logged into the WordPress content management system. So that's the back side of the actual website, and I can just edit everything over here. I will show you that later on in the next tutorial that I'm writing. So the fun thing is that we've just installed the WordPress installation itself. So when I now go into the Bluepine directory or the folder, just a temporary one that you got from your web hosting company, you can see that there's an installation and with a standard theme on top of it. But there's a website already now. So we can even see that in the dashboard. So if we go into pages, you can see there's one sample page in, which is actually telling what's in it right now. So it's absolutely empty, but there's a website now. So next part is that we're going to install a theme on top of it, or you're just going to edit your own theme. I'm going to show you in the next tutorial. Thanks guys. Cheers. Bye.